Welcome to Bio 22 Human Genetics. I'm Dr. Jenny Clark and I will be your instructor this semester. This video is designed to give you an overview of Blackboard, how I've laid out the course, and go over some main points on the syllabus. You should read through the syllabus and assignment schedule completely on your own. When you log into Blackboard, this is what you'll see, the announcements. Each week will be a new announcement, and that will come up on the Friday or Saturday preceding the week. This will highlight for you things going on that week and upcoming due dates, so be sure to read the announcements each week. You can navigate using the menu on the left, and these are arranged simply in alphabetical order, and they're fairly self-explanatory. Let me show you some highlights of each menu item. If we look under the animations and web links, I've posted a couple of files that have a lot of web links that are going to be very helpful. So be sure to take a look at those. If we look at this first one, genetics related web links, open that up. Here we have some general resources for understanding DNA. Some of these I will be showing within the lecture videos themselves. These are excellent supplements. Here are a variety of links important for understanding genetic disorders. Everyone will choose a different disease to research for a research paper about a genetic disorder. And these are excellent websites to start with. More websites for understanding disease. Simply have the name of the website, such as Medline Plus, a short description, and the link. Information about the Human Genome Project, information about stem cells, some guides for accessing journal articles online. And then last, online textbooks and websites that have articles that are very helpful for genetics, including our textbook. Here we have an online biology textbook that's free, some other websites that are very useful, and even websites for other genetics classes that students have found useful in the past. Additionally, I have a list of web links that are broken down by lecture. So looking at this, we have lectures 1 through 5 focusing on the structure of DNA, replication, and transcription. Here's a short description and useful web links. So all these web links I think are very useful, and you may find them useful as well. This will save you time. Instead of searching for links, which you could literally spend all your time on, I would suggest starting with some of the links that I have here for you. Additionally, there are other animations. So here we have some DNA review animations. These animations you will play simply through your web browser. Some of these are flash files. These come from a variety of different textbooks, as I've listed here. Some animations from your textbook. So if you don't have the online access, I've posted what I think are relevant animations here, many of those from your textbook. Simply play them straight from those links or save those links to your computer. So most of these are self-explanatory. Some of these are just web links. Okay. Let me go back to these links for animations from your textbook. Now, if you wanted to save them to your computer, you could simply right-click and do Save Target As, or open the link, etc., at least on a PC. Going back to our menu on the left, the assignments area has instructions for all the assignments. You can find those here posted as PDF files. And there are also places for you to submit your assignments. So for the first article assigned, if you click on View or Complete, this will take you to an area where you can turn in the assignment. Now, after you have turned in an assignment to this link, you can come back later and you can view what you have submitted. Turn-it-in assignments, this service, it searches the web for any similarities between your work and submitted work. So be sure that you always put work in your own words, but you can see your similarity score through this after you submit it. Okay, moving on to discussions. For online classes, oftentimes discussions are used as a way to keep track of who is participating in the class. They're akin to showing up to a face-to-face class. So discussions are going to be very important. In fact, they're very helpful. Students find this is a great place to ask questions of their peers and get answers. When the student explains it other than the teacher, you're going to get the answer in a slightly different way, and hopefully that will help you to better understand the information. Additionally, if you explain a topic to someone else, that will help you to better remember it as well. So each week you'll be required to make about 2 discussion posts. We're going to start with introductions. So with any of these forums, you can create a new thread using the button at the top here. Here is an introduction for myself. And when you click on a thread, you'll be able to subscribe or unsubscribe. This simply toggles back and forth. When you subscribe to a thread, any comments on that thread or any replies will be emailed to you so that you are aware of that without having to go back and check on the discussion board. It's very helpful. So each week you should participate in that current week's discussion board. Okay. Also on the left I have a link for your grades for your convenience. Under the information area you will find the syllabus and the assignment calendar. These are 2 essential documents you should print out and read over. There's also information regarding the discussion board and what constitutes a substantive post. You will get credit for posts that contain substance related to lectures. Simply thanking someone for their post or commenting that that's a great link someone shared. Those are very friendly and nice, but they don't really have substance and they will not count towards your weekly points for the discussion board. Let's take a look at the assignment calendar and the syllabus. The assignment calendar is designed to make it easy for you to keep up with course information. One of the challenges with an online course is that you're not showing up to class physically twice a week. You will still be spending the same amount of time as you would for a face-to-face class. You just need to schedule that time in the convenience of your own home. But with that convenience comes a challenge in that you don't want to put off your assignments. You want to complete everything as scheduled each week so you don't fall behind. We do cover quite a bit of information and it can be very overwhelming if you fall behind. So my best advice and advice from previous students is to stay up with the material as best you can. So I encourage you to sync this calendar with your own personal calendar. Let me show you how it's laid out. So I have scheduled the class as if it's a Monday-Wednesday class. So there are 2 lectures assigned each week. So for the first week, we actually start off a little easy. These are review lectures. This should be review material from your previous biology class. I'm talking about the structure of DNA, DNA replication, and gene expression, encompassing transcription and translation. In the blue boxes, I've highlighted what you need to do on the discussion board to show that you're participating in the class and also to get the most out of the class. So these are worth points. You'll do an introduction, and this is due by the end of the day on Tuesday. Unless otherwise noted, all assignments are due by 11:59 p.m. on the day it's due. And the week 1 discussion forum, you are required to add 1 post, and this will be due on Thursday. And this should be regarding lectures 1 through 3. Okay. If we look at week 2, here we have lecture 4 assigned for Monday, lecture 5 assigned for Wednesday. So you should be posting once, either on Monday or Tuesday, and again on Wednesday or Thursday. So if we look at what's in this blue box for the week 2 discussion forum, you should post in the week 2 discussion forum 1 post by Tuesday and a 2nd post by Thursday. I find it's best to actually specify days of the week where I'll be checking to see that you've participated in the discussion board, because this ensures that students have more of a back and forth conversation. If everyone posts at the end of the week, well, it's hard for that person who posted at the beginning of the week to maybe get an answer, or someone who posted at the end of the week to get an answer. So we want there to be a lot of back and forth on the discussion board, and this is why I have specified 2 separate days in which you must make at least 1 substantive post. And what I will do on the discussion boards, the reason why these are due on, the last one is due on Thursday, is because that gives me Friday and Saturday to read through all your posts and comment on any unanswered questions, so you're not left hanging. Once you start doing the discussion board, you will find that this is very quick and easy. I encourage you, say on Sunday through Tuesday, to do the first lecture of the week. And then after you do that lecture, go ahead and post a question you may have, or maybe summarize an important point from the lecture in your own words on the discussion board. This can be a great area for back and forth between students. And again, as you actually write out and discuss items from lecture, this will help you to better remember and understand those topics. Okay. Now also on here I have due dates. So the first quiz, this covers the review lectures 1 through 3. This will be due on Sunday. Now you'll notice that with an online course, sometimes the due dates aren't during the week. And this is an effort to give you extra time. You could do this first quiz on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day you want, but the last day to complete it is Sunday. Okay. Your group contract, everyone should find people to work with. The introductions on the discussion board will help you to find groups to work with for group assignments. And the group contract is going to be due on Wednesday. The second quiz will be made available. And if we scroll down, the second quiz will be due right after Labor Day. So all the due dates are summarized for you on the assignment calendar. A little G indicates a group assignment. A note here, all quizzes and exams are individual assignment. There's a quick summary about the discussion board. Further information about the discussion board is posted under information. So this is pretty self-explanatory. So here we are back to the information section on Blackboard. Here are our discussion board guidelines. Let me show you the syllabus real quick and just touch on a couple of points here. The best way to contact me is by email. I will check that and answer your emails as quickly as possible. However, realize that if you were doing a quiz and it's due that day, you want to have time if you're going to email me for me to get back to you. Also, let me point out that I am on the East Coast, so I'm on East Coast time, and if you email me late at night in your time, I probably will not see that email until the morning because I'm 3 hours ahead. Okay, so here are the required materials. You do want to get a textbook. The current book is a 10th edition, but you can get the 9th edition, and that would be sufficient for the class and save you some money. You want to be sure and get the student handbook that goes with that. That's going to be very important for the second and third units of the class, where you'll be practicing lots of genetics problems. These are essentially like word problems or math problems. And having that solution manual will be very helpful. The back of the book does give the odd answers to the odd questions, but you're going to want to see all the answers for that. And you will need a scientific calculator that has log and exponent function. Here's an example of one. And I encourage each of you to come up with a backup plan for internet access. Being an online class, if something were to happen to your home computer or your internet, you do need to have a backup plan in place before emergencies happen. So think about that the first week of the semester. Here's a breakdown of testing and grading. You can see in this pie chart, exams are just over half of your grade. There are 3 exams. Group work, 10%. Quizzes, 9%. Discussion board, 6%. Those are very easy points to discussion board. So don't skimp on the discussion board. Not only does it show that you are keeping up with the class, it's a great way for you to get answers and clarification, and also easy points. And then you'll be writing a paper, and everything having to do with the paper will come to 20% of your grade. Okay. This is a summary talking about the lectures, talking about the exams, and my philosophy regarding online exams. Group work, quizzes, a little about the research paper and the discussion, etc. In the syllabus, we have the lectures and the dates that they are assigned, as well as the assigned reading. And so I have 2 pages here for you, one for the 10th edition textbook and a second page for the 9th edition textbook. Okay. In the syllabus with some suggestions for success and some links for college resources. Okay. I've also posted under information the division policy on academic integrity. Being an online class, you are on your own and expected to have the same level of academic integrity as if you were in a face-to-face class. Cheating is not acceptable. Okay, so going back here, let's look at the quizzes and exams section. All of your quizzes and exams will be administered through Blackboard. And here we have the first quiz, and there, once the quizzes come up, they will be available. true for the exams as well, and you will see the instructions for this. So for the first quiz, it'll cover lectures 1 through 3. And this quiz has 10 questions. It's worth 10 points. As with all of my quizzes and exams, being an online course in the privacy of your own home, certain measures are taken to discourage cheating. A quiz is designed to see what you understand and not what information you can look up. And so for this to be a fair assessment, and also for it to be an assessment that other schools will then accept for transfer agreements, certain measures are taken. And this takes a little getting used to. Okay, so this is described here. Each question will be presented one at a time in a random order, and backtracking is not allowed. And that means that once you answer a question, you'll go forward, and when advancing forward will save your answer, but you will not be able to review submitted answers. Okay. As a guide, you should allow yourself about 1 minute per question for standard questions. Now, if it is actually a calculation, then you will allow more time. And when we get into calculations with the second and third units, I'll actually divide up the questions so that the calculation section will be separate from the information multiple choice section. Okay. All quizzes and exams should be completed in a single session. So once you start it, you'll need to complete it. You can't stop and go back to it. For this quiz, having 10 questions, you will have 10 minutes to complete the quiz. After 10 minutes has elapsed, your answers will be saved and submitted. Within the test, there is a countdown timer to allow you to keep track of your time. Be sure only to use the navigation within the quiz itself. Don't use the back button on your browser. That will end your quiz. At the end of the quiz or test, you will see your score. Now for quizzes, you will see suggestions for answers or questions that you missed. And for quizzes, I'll always allow students to attempt the quiz twice. And yes, it will be the same questions, but they will not be in the same order. So the idea is this is a learning tool with the quiz, and it's also designed to encourage you to keep up with the information. So you complete the quiz, at the end you see your score, and you see topics you should review for questions that you missed. And then you can take the quiz again by the due date. Now Blackboard will record the score of your last quiz attempt. So the last time you take the quiz, that'll be the score that's recorded. Okay. Be sure to have scratch paper when you're doing the quiz and a quiet environment where you're not going to be disturbed because you can't pause the quiz and continue it later. Okay. Now for the lecture information, our class is divided into 3 units. We will have 3 exams. So for the first unit, here we have Unit 1 lectures. What I've posted for you here are ways to access the lecture videos. And then lecture slides are posted in both PowerPoint format here. So our first unit goes from lectures 1 to 11. And I made a note here in red that Exam 1 will cover lectures 1 through 10. I've also posted the lecture slides in Adobe PDF format. So if you don't have PowerPoint, you can use this format. Then for each lecture, in addition to lecture slides, and these lecture slides go along with the lecture video of me lecturing to those slides, there are study materials. So these are posted in both Word and PDF format. And these are essentially lists of topics and terms that are covered. You should be able to go through and define the terms and explain the topics or the concepts. As well, there's suggested end of the chapter questions for both the 9th and 10th edition textbooks. Okay. Now, probably the easiest way to access the lecture videos is through YouTube. So here I will open up this first link for the annotated schedule for Unit 1. Okay. So here we have the lecture, and there's multiple lecture videos. I tried to limit the videos to around 20 minutes. Some are a little more, some are a little less. So that's a good amount of time for you to stay focused on a topic and see a complete lecture video. But keep in mind that for each lecture, lectures 1, 2, 3, etc., you'll probably have about an hour and a half of lecture material. Now that's not true for the first week because the review lectures are a little shorter. And I know the first week is a little crazy and it'll take some time for everyone to get on track with this online course. So let me explain the numbering to you here. The first number is the lecture. And then there's a dash for the part of the video. So part 1, part 2, etc. And then here we have the YouTube link that you can open up in YouTube. It tells you what slides for that lecture the video covers and how long the lecture is. So the name here is just a very short descriptive name. Okay. So this goes all the way through lecture 11, covering the first unit of the course. Okay. Now there are some other ways to access this. So if we look in this folder under Unit 1 Lectures, Saddleback has a streaming server for videos. They also have a podcast server. So the streaming server will show videos in WMV format. So this web link will take you there. And so here we have some of those videos. Not sure why it doesn't show everything. I will have to look into that. The podcast video hosts in an MP4 format. However, note that this does not work in Google Chrome. Okay. And I'm using Google Chrome right now, so that's not going to be very helpful. I also have iTunes links here for the videos, and then there's an MP3 audio only version of each lecture, the podcast with the iTunes link, and then just a link to Saddleback podcast server, which again does not show in Google Chrome. So you would have to use a different internet browser for that. Okay. Now I already have up Unit 2's lectures as well. Okay. So here's the annotated schedule with the YouTube links. That's going to be the easiest way to access these videos. Here we have the lecture slides and also study lists in 2 different formats. So I think it should be fairly simple to navigate. Once you choose a group, I will create your group in Blackboard, and you will see additional tools on this menu on the left for your group. And those tools are going to be primarily for you and your group mates to communicate with. You can use them or not use them. When you do submit assignments, you will need to use the links under the Assignments tab. Most of them are going to be these Turnitin links here, where you can submit your assignment and then go back to view what you've submitted. And once I grade it, you can use this link as well to access my comments. So I hope this gives you an idea of what the class is all about. There's lots of things for you to explore at the class. Feel free to post in the Week 1 discussion board any questions you may have or email me directly. Good luck.